Lake House, part 4. I think there may be 5. I don't want to rush the last part. And this actually doesn't take place at the lake, but I'll fill it in anyway, because I think there's memories here which should be kept, I guess. The dog, our dog, McGee, he went with us. I don't know what I was saying. That's why I couldn't think where was he. He was with us. We took him to Venezuela, and we brought him back home after. We only lasted there for about half a year. The project was ill-conceived. The crafts to be working with, it just, we couldn't do it. It wasn't, well, there were funds. I mean, we were paid to do our part, but we just could not put the thing together. The tourist industry of that Caribbean island was already kind of set in a certain style. I don't know, but we did write a book. We wrote a book in Spanish documenting the trades, the crafts that we could find, because we went all over that island trying to see who was making what. And I think Joyce has the copy. I think she told me that she still has that copy with photographs and all. And of course we left one copy there. But anyway, when we came back, we would have gone back to the lake house, and possibly we would have stayed there for good, I don't know. But Joyce needed to do her internship, I think it was, for occupational therapy. And she could do that at Dartmouth College, which is in Hanover, New Hampshire. She got a position there to do that, but that was too far to drive from the lake house. Just a little bit too far. I think we thought about it, but no. So we rented a house north of Hanover, about maybe 20 miles. I don't know if it was, it probably wasn't 20 miles, maybe 15. Orford. Orford was the town, but it wasn't a town, it was a farmhouse. I just could not bring myself to live in a city, or even really a small town. You know, I couldn't be happy that way. And so there we were. We still had the 5 monkeys. No, I think by this time we only had 2 of them left, 3 of them left. But and my dog, our dog, he came back. And you know, when Brazilians, we got him in Brazil, and when Brazilians found out that I had named the dog McGee after my best friend, they were so shocked. They said, in Brazil, that would be a reason for your friend to come and shoot the dog. It's so different way of thinking. But anyway, that was a very, very hard winter. And I would not really dwell on it, except that it sort of fits in the story. By this time I had bought a VW van, an old beat up one, dated from 1964 I think, and I paid $250 for it I think, which was way too much. But I painted it up and I was running it. I could carry my tools in it. I got a new job as a carpenter still, but on a different crew. And I was eventually laid off in the middle of the winter. And see, I say this was a hard time. Historically, the Vietnam War was now over, finally, but the Great Recession was in place at this time. You know, the economy was in real bad shape. The Arab oil embargo was around this time. Well, Joyce was doing fine with her internship. We had 2 cars, neither one of them great. She used the best one, and then I used this VW van. And I remember having to change the starter motor on that thing all the time, and having to go out, crawl underneath it to take the starter motor off, bring it into the house, and check it out, or replace bearings, or whatever I had to do. I don't remember. And then go back in and put it on. And I can remember it being so cold under there and laying on that ground that I would be shaking so badly that I couldn't work anymore, and I'd have to go in to warm up enough to go out there again to try to get it back together. But that was, I needed it to get to work. So it was rough. I know one night it went to 20 below at the night. I remember that very clearly because Joyce was at a party in one of those cars that I didn't trust too much, and I worried myself just sick until she'd get back home. That was a very, very long evening for me. And the other thing I remember was my coldest experience. Not that I was physically cold, but for that carpentry crew, that new one, I got a call. It was so cold they weren't working, but I got a call and the guy said, "If you're willing to, we have a job." It was 28 below, and not much of a wind, just a little bit of a wind, but there was a a Dartmouth professor and his wife wanted to have a barn door hung, a door hung on their barn because the weather was so cold, and they had one or two horses there. And we did it. I mean, I thought to myself at the time, this has got to be a personal best or worst, 28 below, hanging a barn door. But like I say, we got the job done. So anyway, I'm not meaning by any means to recount this whole time, but I do gonna go back now to the lake house. This would have been a year before, and that's the whole story. That's the whole reason that I'm telling all these memories. Bye for now.